the metro cities. I'm only talking about metro cities of the 10 lakhs and above in the population. But once your level 2 towns start growing, I tell you this growth rate and the number what I told you, 21,500, is going to be far bigger. And you know, gentlemen, we're not really far away from that. Because if you look at places like Visakhapatnam, where I'm from, or you know, Madurai, the same size as Vizag, or Trichy, or you know, places like that. You know, look at the naksha of those places around 15 years ago to now. All changed. All the individual, you know, all the independent homes became, you know, high-story buildings. So, I mean, cities are growing vertical, and it's putting a lot of pressure on infrastructure and all that. But still, you know, the good news for me is the restaurants are growing. That is what news I want to know. And the Indian market for restaurants alone, that is the food service, is roughly around 43,000 crores market in India. That is the food service, that is Indian, you know, restaurant market. That is growing at 5.5%. But whereas the quick service restaurant industry, which is estimated at around 8,000 crores, that's growing at 41%. And luckily, gentlemen, we are in the fast growth area, that is the quick service restaurant area. Now, I'll also take you back to one, you know, step back. In 5 years ago, I think, yeah, just only 5 years ago, there are only 90% of all the restaurants put together are owned by, what do you call it, you know, it's all, I mean, the private labels. All of them are private labels. And today, in 5 years' time, that 90% has become 75%. That means that, you know, the growth there is taken over by all the branded products. Okay, all the you know, brand labels are coming from, particularly coming from overseas. So everybody is aiming at the fast-growing Indian market, and there's such a scope in the Indian market. If I look at where I'm going to be in 5 years' time, we are going to have 300 stores across the nation, gentlemen, in 5 years' time. 300 stores. Now, if you look at the 300 stores in 5 years' time, that would equate to 1.3% of the total market size per day. That will be 21,500 stores, as you earlier alluded to. Okay? So, I might say big things, but my steps are very small. I'm just taking extremely small steps into this big market. Because Indian market is so big, so enormous, so huge, and it can accommodate any brand anytime, anywhere. As long as we produce the right product, there is a market in India. All you have to be alert about is, you know, there is a tremendous shift in the lifestyles in India. And that lifestyles, they are absorbing foreign brands, and they're absorbing anything which is organized, they're now looking at it. Anything which isn't organized, they're shying away from it. So, luckily for us, gentlemen, we are in the organized sector in this. And why country chicken, why start in India, in Chennai, is for me, is extremely simple. My first city outside Visakhapatnam was in Chennai. That was in 1978, October 14th, I came into Chennai town to do my CA. Okay, so when I was to start studying, in the sense, you know, where to start in India, I can only think of Chennai because Chennai gave me the start. Chennai gave me a head start for me. And you know, Tamil Nadu, just a fantastic, wonderful. I mean, you guys are really brilliant, you know, in terms of the South Indian point of view. Yeah. Now I'm really lucky to be here, you know, back here, and trying to service the market here, and I'm really looking forward to it. And in Chennai, we are going to have, that is, you know, in Tamil Nadu per se, Tamil Nadu and you know, Coimbatore together, we will have roughly 35 stores in 2.5 to 3 years' time. 35 stores. And one might say 35 stores might look slightly ambitious. or there could be others might say this 35 stores is nothing, you could go a lot further. So I would rather be in the second school of thought, where they say yes, it can be more. But I'm being a realist. What I think is 35 stores is extremely possible, because if you look at the shift from rural to urban, the population is growing in the southern parts of India. The people from L3 or L4 towns, and they're grading up and they're going into the higher towns all the time. And perhaps they're putting a pressure on the infrastructure on the cities, but hey, look, the market is growing. So why are we complaining about it? Now, in these markets, A, I have the urban market, which is readily available to me, and B, the fast-growing level 2 and level 3 towns are not available to me. So if I focus myself on the L2 towns itself, in Tamil Nadu, my plant is going to be full. So, and when I say my plant, that is the uniqueness about our country chicken. What we are doing is, we have lots of other brands in the QSR segment are available. All of them process the food in their own store. But whereas for us, we are going to service all these stores from a centralized kitchen. And that centralized kitchen is going to do up to 75% of the cooking, and the balance 25% of the reheating is done at the store level. That means this will give us two things. It will give us a high degree of standardization. That is a food, in the sense my chicken piece served in Timbuktu to Tirunelveli, it's all the same taste it will be. Okay, and the other area, how I have to look at it is extremely healthy, because that 75% is already done and is glass frozen. It took at least 5 years for that, for technology to perfect it. And Peter is going to talk about it in his video. You'll listen to that. Now, once you have a product, frozen product, at the store level, all you have to do is to bake it, right? And now you have nice and warm food ready to eat. Okay, it's not greasy, yet it is a succulent to eat it. Because it's the last thing you want is a chicken which is bloody dry. It's not good at all. And also the other ones you don't want is such a greasy chicken to hold. That's not wonderful either. So, but whereas in our case, it's going to be nice and dry, but yet it is really succulent chicken piece you get. And apart from chicken recipes, what we have got, we are also going to serve the Indian meal. This is slightly Indianized touch to it. And gentlemen, Australia is not far away from Fiji, and we have around 9 stores in Fiji. Fiji is a small country. Fiji has roughly around 35% of the Indian population in Fiji. And we have a range called Fiji Fire. Because they eat spicy food, we've already developed this spicy range for the Fijian market. And mind you, Fijians living in Fiji are far more traditional than you and me sitting here in India. Because, what happened is, they went almost 150 years ago into Fiji, and they follow same traditions. They followed, to the T. I went to some of the birthday parties. Here the birthday parties are finished in half an hour. And then the birthday parties take women ages, because they have the pujas they have to do, and those pujas takes hours and hours and hours, because they follow everything how they used to do 150 years ago. But whereas, we have moved on, but they haven't. They really held on to the heritage what they have. So they also follow the same taste buds as well, the Indian taste. So now, when we are supplying and be successful in Fiji, that is also the Indian market, because there 85% of my market in Fiji are the Indian market. Because the locals then they won't eat much of chicken because they can't afford it. But whereas the Indians are slightly wealthy in Fiji. So they eat dal chicken, and they really like it. They really swear by it. So now that we know the Indian part of the palate, We know the Indian taste buds. And here we are coming into Indian markets. And we are starting off from Tamil Nadu. And the sky is the limit for us from here. Because we are going to go from here to the Karnataka, Maharashtra, and also, a few other states as well. But by from now to 3 years, 3 to 4 years time, we'll have 300 stores. 300 stores. And I tell you, gentlemen, it's not a difficult task at all to achieve that. And we're going to, again, as I earlier mentioned, I'm only talking about 1.3% of the market size at the time. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you some PowerPoint presentation, which I'll just take you there. I 43,000 crores, growth rate is 5.5, already mentioned that earlier. And Spirit growth by 215 is around 65,000 crores. Direct employment is around 5 million. The changes in demos, greater prosperity, better exposure, change in eating habits, and the social structures are the primary factors for this growth. This is the QSR segment. Earlier I did mention that 41% growth, and this is what it is. And what I haven't mentioned earlier was the domestic brands. You have Nirula's, US Pizza, Pizza Corner, and Haldiram's, Rasna's, those workshops, and some of the local brands as well. Like you have Big Nirwala and MTR down there. The Country Chicken is going to be an international brand on the top. It's going to be a significant player to really look for. And this is about pizza, and where we started it, 1994 we started it, and this is the countries what are available this brand sell. Now, the proprietary recipe provides a sensational, tasting products that is, non-greasy, thereafter healthier, which I did mention that to you earlier as well. And that's the kind of a range of the products what we're going to offer. Now, you have fried chicken, roasted chicken, burgers, wraps, sandwiches, subs, selection of salads, potatoes, gravies. Look at salads. Salads are extremely healthy, and that market, when we did the survey, we were told that it's sort of a small market, but it's an extremely growing market. It's a high growth market of salads, but the salads are really good to have. Only thing what we need to do is to find the right vegetables. In the sense, sourcing the vegetables are really extremely important for providing better salads. Chips and veggies, fish products, pizzas, and pizzas are another critical thing. No other chicken guys have any pizzas. We're going to offer pizzas into it. Both the dining, express counters, and also home delivery as well. Children's meal, as it's vegetarian range. Well, this vegetarian range is extremely important for Tamil Nadu market, and both in Tamil Nadu and also Andhra Pradesh as well, I suppose. And what drives country chicken? It's a great taste. Well, we should say that, should we? And product consistency every time. It's non-greasy, healthy cooking, low-fat product range, accommodated staff, carefully selected franchise operators, marketing and branding support, excellent return on investment, easy to operate, just basic things. And we have standalone dinings, mall dinings, and the food court express. And I think food court express would be around 80% of our stores would be coming under the express stores. Express stores where you have a much smaller space, but provide a faster food there. This is the type of outlets. Some of them in Russia, some of them in New Zealand, some of them in Australia. Country chicken system is we'll have multiple processing plants across the country. Now, in South India, to service both Karnataka and Tamil Nadu states, we are going to have one plant coming up at close to Vellore area. Vellore, that will do that. In the sense it is very close to all these markets, and that is right on Bangalore highway. So we are going to get that process done. But initially we'll have a plant in Chennai itself, because that product coming up, plant coming up at Vellore is going to be a lot bigger, far bigger in size to service the 3 states together. And this unique system supports large Indian QSR market with quality range of the proven recipe and taste of repeat customers. Now this is our wheel, Country Chicken Australia, and then Country Chicken Indian office, that is Country Chicken India. Then we have a statewide operators. And in Indian point of view, you have a Country Chicken India and the master franchise for the state, and you got the sub-franchisees. So healthy food for everyone is our motto. At this stage, what I would like to do, I would like to invite one gentleman called Nizamuddin Papa, Dr. Nizamuddin is his father. They are from Huma group of firms. They are going to be my master franchise operators for the Tamil Nadu area. I would like to invite Nizamuddin, please. And to Nizamuddin, what our formality is, this is our uniform, this is our shirt. We present the shirt to him.
Thank you, Rama. Thank you, Nizamuddin. Thank you very much for being present here. From the brief that Rama has just given you about Country Chicken, we would like to show you a few visuals about the menu of Country Chicken, the people of Country Chicken, and the worldwide outlets of Country Chicken. So I request my friend Sukumar here to start playing the audio visuals, starting with the food menu. Thank you. Can we have the lights off, please?